Hello, welcome to GrowMe. We are a community of earth lovers who are committed to creating sustainability for this planet. Today, we have a 2020 Thanksgiving ancestral healing decolonization gratitude ceremony for you. Thanks for joining us, and let's enter the sacred circle. Hi. Here we are. So I'm just going to take a moment to set our intention for this little gathering and honoring all of us who are here present in the physical 3D timeline of here and now, as well as those of us who will virtually come into the ceremony via wormholes and via the interesting nature of time and space not being real. So welcome everybody to this ceremony on the holiday of Thanksgiving in the US, which is already feels to me very loaded with things that we can clear. So the intention for this is to come into a state of beingness so that we can cultivate enlightened or the elevated qualities of this kind of gathering so that we can embody those qualities. Make sense? It will. Let me do it. So, can all go ahead and close our eyes. Get in a comfortable position. Seated is generally great, but if you must, you can lie down. And you can just start to bring some movement up and down your spine. So swaying your torso back and forth if you're seated. If you're laying, you can do little wiggles, or you can just imagine moving side to side and front to back, perhaps like a bamboo in the wind, or maybe like seaweed in the ocean. Breathing and allowing some fluidity on your spine, in your body, in your thoughts, and in your heart. And bringing our attention and our awareness up above the crown of our heads, about 300 feet or so. There's an area where you can contact with source or universe, God, whoever you call it, whatever that feeling is, that kind of place where when we pray, we send our energies upward. Contact that point, and from there, light is going to come pouring down, and you may see it, you may feel it, you may sense it, or you just may know that it is there, and allow it. This whole process is allowing. So allowing it to flow down like a waterfall of liquid light, flowing down to you and through you and all around you, down through the crown of your head, your third eye, so that we may see everything clearly, out through our ears, so we may hear all the guidance that's available to us. Moving into our face, relaxing our faces, allowing the light to melt away some of the masks that we put on to face the world. Allowing the light to go into our jaw, relaxing our jaw muscles and our neck muscles. And now out the front and back of our throat. So we may be clear in the full expression of who we are. And down our shoulders and our arms and out our hands and our fingertips. And this liquid light continues to flow down into our chest area and out the front and back of our heart. Opening our hearts to all of the love, to all of the possibilities that are available to us. And down into our solar plexus, opening up that space of purely inspired action, of a kind of doing that comes from our beingness. And flowing down into our torsos, our upper back, our lower back, our bellies, all of our lower organs, and at the front and back of our sacral chakras, clearing the path for our creativity, for resources, for feeling stable and grounded, and at peace in the truth of who we are and what this world is. And allowing the light to continue down into our hips and down our legs, our thighs, our knees, our calves, our shins, our ankles, our feet, down the bottom of our feet. And down through our roots, down through the bottom of our torso. And all of this light is like forming roots, like from the bottom of our torso, from the bottom of our feet. And all that light is reaching down into the ground and into the earth and down through all the layers of the earth, rooting us to this planet and down into the center of the heart of Mother Earth. And you'll feel or you'll sense or you'll know when that light goes all the way down to the very center. It is a far way to travel, but it can totally do it. And once it gets there, you'll know because you'll feel this kind of like you've reached this realm of unconditional love, of support, maybe a co-creative energy. You might feel your hips sink down a bit and relax down once it hits this realm, and then the light bounces up through all the layers of the earth and through the ground and through the floor, and then up through your central channel and right into your heart, where the light from below meets the light from above, and then it bursts out all around you in 360 degrees, flowing out into the space all around you, which is also a part of you. Interesting. You extend beyond your body, and this light extends beyond your body, and it extends out into the room all around you and out past the walls and into your town or city, out into the state. Just ask this light to continue to keep flowing out beyond state borders, beyond countries. Asking the light to continue to expand out all across the lands and the waters and the air, out through all of the atmosphere, out into the solar system and the galaxy. Asking the light to continue to expand out past the galaxy and into the universe, the farthest reaches of the universe that are possible, which are infinite. And feeling yourself in this spaciousness, in this realm of light and of energy. When you're part of this energy, you are co-creating this energy. And your conscious awareness is in the space right now where all is possible, where all healing can occur naturally and easily, with grace and with ease. Beautiful. And taking a couple deep breaths. And while we're in this space, we are going to just double, triple ensure that we are protected and calling on any higher assistance, calling on the greatest soul protection to keep us protected in this realm of light while we do this healing. Knowing that also when we are connected to this light and we are in this state, this true state of who we are naturally protected. There is nothing that can harm us. It feels good to be in this space. So while we're in this space, asking the light to allow any energies that are not serving us right now to be cleared by this light. And when these energies are washed away with this light, they're taken and transmuted and turned into pure energetic potential. So anywhere that we have, anything that we've done today or anything that we've thought that we want to clear, go ahead and clear that now. And all we do in this space is allow, allow, allow. And then tuning in to this holiday, this time of the season, this Thanksgiving, and just allowing like whatever comes to your mind to come to your mind when we say Thanksgiving. Maybe your family comes to your mind, or memories of past that you've done, or maybe right now it's 2020 and we're in the middle of a pandemic, and perhaps this Thanksgiving brings up certain feelings. Some people are not able to see their families this year. There's a layer of tension because it's harder to do things or get things or all that stuff. So whatever comes up for you, allowing that to come up, and knowing that when we're in the space, we're connected to the light, we're allowing it to come up, and some uncomfortable things might come up, and that's amazing, because what we're doing is we're bringing it to the light, and the light then is allowing it to clear. Because when we don't bring it up, we keep it stuffed down in our subconscious, and it rules our lives. So in this way, we're bringing it up, and we bring up everything, right? Bringing everything to its purest energetic essence, because that's the fertile creative grounds where we can play and co-create what it is that we want to see. So all of it is all a part of this. So whatever comes up is amazing. Whether one might label it good or bad, it doesn't actually matter. We're then clearing that polarity. So particularly, if you've had any tension or frustration or anxiety around family, around family gatherings, I know there's a lot of that up for people and in the collective. And also noting that it's been quite the intense political time, and that's something that comes up a lot for people during the holidays. So if you've ever had any altercations like that, allowing that to come up and asking the light to clear that for us. Clearing away any fear or any resistance to maybe seeing people and being with people because we're afraid they're going to talk about X, Y, and Z, or we're going to have XYZ argument, or just like it's hard to be around them because they believe XYZ. Allowing that to come up and allowing that to clear. Knowing that when we're in the true essence of our beingness, none of that really matters so much. And also knowing, that we live in an interdependent and an impermanent universe. And, because it's impermanent, everything's always changing. And so even though sometimes it might feel like people don't change that much, that's actually like 100% not true. Everything's changing all the time. And so, when we can bring this up and allow this to clear, then, we're allowing for them to change. We're allowing for ourselves to change, right? And perhaps when we change, that brings us into more accepting and more loving relationships and experiences with one another. So anywhere where you feel like your family has caused you stress or, or you've maybe inherited some limiting beliefs from them, or you've inherited some customs, some traditions from them that you don't agree with or you don't think are necessarily helpful. allowing whatever comes up for you to come up. You might feel something in your body. And if you feel something in your body, you can just bring the light to that specific place in your body and asking it to release from your being. You can bring this light through to clear any cords with specific people that might come up. And then just seeing if you notice like anywhere in your body that's activated, or you might, visualize a certain area of your body that's being cleared, or just know that it's happening and you don't even need to know where or what necessarily. But if something comes up, just noticing it and breathing, allowing it to continue to clear. We have inherited a lot of constructs they kind of start with our family systems, because we basically learn everything we know within the first 7 years of our lives. And then, we have emotional reactions to our experiences. And what we do then is we repeat those patterns over and over and over again in our lives. It just like looks different, like the characters are different or the circumstances seem a little different, but the same energetic patterns are repeating and repeating. That's why you might notice, like if like this thing keeps happening, like maybe like I keep dating this kind of guy and why does that keep happening or whatever. It's like that kind of thing. It happens with everything. And so, our family structures, we developed everything, from that young age, but we definitely don't need to keep it. So allowing, any of those old patterns to clear that have been keeping you stuck. I'm getting a lot about like financial resources, or like ways of doing things. So another thing about the holidays that we want to clear is like there's a lot of basically want to clear holiday traffic. So bring that to your consciousness, like traveling for the holidays, right? And the thing about holiday traffic is because, we have these kind of like time signatures, these time constructs that we've created as human beings to keep things kind of organized and to be on the same page, which is like nice, that we all want to be on the same page. But then they've started to take over our lives. So things like the work week, like the 9 to 5, right? And so then everyone's traveling during rush hour, right? Or on the weekends or at a certain time, or, like you have to be there by a certain time, which is like bringing up all that to clear, right? Even like that there's one day, right? Like that we give thanks and gather as a family. Like that's weird. Let's clear that in its entirety. Yeah, like so because it's related, these time constructs and these like ways that things have to be done, it's related a lot to our inner resources and, like the ways that we've chosen lifestyles that may not be exactly what we want or how we thrive, but we've done it, to fit in. That's a big one. Anywhere where you felt like you had to fit in with your family or felt like you didn't fit in. Bring that to light. Whew, and allow that to clear. I felt a lot of charge on that one. Let that one go. Yeah, and then the ways that we've like either like gone to school for something or taken this job, right, or done this thing because of our family's expectations or because of, we were taught that that's the way to do things. Whatever comes up for you on that, allowing that to clear. Because can you imagine like that we're all doing like what felt good and right to us and like, creating what our souls were asking us to create. And like we were kind of free of all of these constructs. I mean, time itself would be really different. And I bet you $1 million there'd be no rush hour. So we're gonna clear all that and live in a world where there's no holiday traffic, when we see our loved ones like whenever we want and we have like our own events or whatever. And so through that we're also clearing that pressure, right? That might be what's up for some people that like, maybe aren't seeing their families because of COVID, like the tension might not be because you want to and you can't. The tension might be because they're like because of that pressure, just that that time pressure, that seasonal that like, oh, but it's Thanksgiving now and I can't. That's like that's a tension. Let's just clear all that. And also, if you want to see them and can't, and that's sad and grieving that, bring that up and allow that to clear. Or if you are going to see them and then you're worried about, giving them coronavirus, allow that to clear, or getting it, allow all that to clear. There's like so much up right now. And we're going to go back through time. You just wait. Clear all dimensions of time, space, reality. Whew. Bringing that, allowing that to like go to your throat, go wherever that needs it. All right. Stick with me. We're going to travel a little more. So, hesitant moment. We also want to go back quite a bit to particularly in the US around this time, but basically like what we're doing is, we're clearing with our relationship to our families, but now, like we also want to clear our ancestral lines back. So our maternal and our paternal lines and their maternal and their paternal lines and their maternal and their paternal lines. And we'll just do this like all the way, at least 7 generations back, if not more. Let's just like do them all. And through this clearing, we want to clear any of the thoughts, any of the behaviors, any of the intentions, any of the actions that our ancestors may have had in order to gather in places, whether they were for holidays or whether they were to move to new lands. We used to be more nomadic peoples back in the day. And it kind of like became that we felt like we had to like root somewhere, and maybe this is like the root of a lot of the anxiety or a lot of the ways in which, it's colonization, right? The ways in which then we've done things in order to root that may not be totally aligned with our nature, that may not actually be the best for us. So whatever that is, allowing that to release and clear. So for you in your life, this might mean anywhere that you feel stuck. If there's anywhere that you feel stuck, bring that to your consciousness and ask the light to clear it. If there's any movement that you want to see in your life that you feel like maybe isn't happening, allow that to clear as well. Yeah, there's like this polarity of like staying and going that I keep getting, right? Like, and so that happens in our lives, right? Like wanting to move forward, wanting to like reach somewhere in our career and our relationships, or like in our health or whatever. Like we want it to like look a certain way. And so we're constantly like trying to move towards that, but the like most efficient way to get that is to be here now. And then oftentimes when we're here now, we feel like stuck, right? So I'm feeling like this energy that we really just want to like bring up and clear, because there is no here or there, right? There is no this or that. Like we're in it. It's all in the unfolding. And your intention matters, that matters. And then trusting, that it's all happening, because the joy and the satisfaction doesn't come from getting the thing, right? Or doing the thing, or being at a certain place in your life. We've heard this like a million times, right? Through spiritual teachings, right? Like, we think that that's what's going to make us happy, and it doesn't make us happy. So it's just even that feeling of wanting to move or wanting to stay. We're going to clear that. And so then also going in our ancestral lines and clearing away anywhere that there has been separation consciousness. So in terms of, because once again, way, way, way in the way back, we were all one being at first. And from there kind of split off, right? And became different beings, and then like different kinds of beings, and then different kinds of beings with different qualities, right? And then we decided that different beings with different qualities needed to be like there need to be a construct to describe them, like a race or something like that. Yeah, so let's just clear all that separation consciousness that's back in there. Wow. And so anywhere, yeah, and like, so like this is the way we clear it, right? Is like we can't just say like, okay, we're gonna go back and clear all that and it's gone, but what we have to do is bring it to our own right present moment relationship with it. So anywhere that you in your life feel separate, right? Anywhere that you perceive yourself as a different race, you know, if you've ever had any memories or any experiences you've had with either experiencing racism or you know, being the person that's kind of enacting it, whether it's intentional or not, you know, maybe you've said something that has upset someone, or had a subtle thought about a certain kind of person, or been accused of something, someone said something about you, all that, allow that to clear and transmute, please and thank you. We definitely want to do this for the world right now with everything that's going on, and definitely do it for all those generations back and all of those wars that were fought over this, all of the ways that then, because we felt separate, people came to a land and then like, you know, decided that that could be their land instead of the people that were already there. And that's a big one for this holiday and for this, you know, country that some of us are in. But, you know, like these things aren't just about the US either. This has happened historically all over the planet time and time again, and still does. So we're just going to clear it for all of it, knowing that by, you know, allowing yourself to bring up your own places where you feel separate, like, and even in your relationships. So you can go to your close relationships, right? Where you maybe have some dissatisfaction with the way that someone's being, like a partner or a family member, right? Like you don't agree with the way that they act or some of the things that they do or some of the things that they say, right? Like all of that, it's because you feel like you're not them, right? That they are doing something that's annoying you, right? So automatically, like we have that separation consciousness. So just like bringing that up and allowing that to clear and allowing ourselves to attune our consciousness to acceptance, right? And that doesn't, so, okay, right. Let's clear false perceptions about acceptance, because acceptance doesn't mean just being a doormat and letting whatever is happening to happen, right? When it's like harmful or oppressive or all that stuff. So that's not what's happening here. But we're clearing the underlying consciousness of separation, which like in our reaction against oppression, we perpetuate separation consciousness. Does this make sense? Not just let like the light flood this in right now, like flood it in, because it's new a little bit. I mean, it's old actually, and well, there's no time, so it's nothing. Like we haven't operated this way in a long time, but you know, we oftentimes perpetuate what it is we're reacting against. And so that to me is what acceptance is. It's not like allowing things to happen to us that aren't okay. No, that's not it. Like we make choices when we like, you know, speak our truth and we do these things. But we also, you know, practice acceptance in ourselves, right? And where we're unaccepting of others, you know, and like mostly where we're unaccepting of our own being. So anywhere where you feel like you need to change, maybe feeling like you wish you weren't like this, you know, maybe feeling like you wish you had more or were more, allowing that to come up, allowing that to clear. So it's even like just if we like have the thought like everything is perfect exactly where it is, and I'm no longer going to tolerate, you know, like I don't know, people, talking badly about other people, right? Like, so it's a different thing. It's not just like, I'm, like going to freak out because someone's saying this thing, but it's like, this is all great. And part of the reason why we're experiencing it is because it's coming up so that we can clear it. So we're clearing it on the deepest level, the energetic level, the most like fundamental level. And when we do this kind of work, even if it feels uncomfortable, maybe it feels confusing, painful, weird, whatever, knowing that it's literally changing our energy. And if we go with it and trust it, we'll see those changes in the physical realm as well. Okay. There's one more thing. So we're going to go there. We're going to clear like basically disease. So disease, right? Like in the physical sense, in terms of like viruses, illnesses, all that stuff, that comes from a more deeper dis-ease, in people. And so, one of the things that happened with colonization is that, they brought things to other lands and to other cultures that weren't there before. And then that caused sickness and illness. So we're going to clear that, ask the light to illuminate that and where that is. And so again, this dis-ease comes from this more deeper kind of unrest, right? That's why I think the word's interesting. Disease, dis-ease, right? An unrest, like an unsettled, right? Literally, like colonization was because people felt unsettled and they needed to go and like be somewhere else, and then do certain things so that they felt more secure, right? So that they felt like they had more control, so that they, were more abundant and prosperous, right? Like all of these things were done with this kind of hope, right? That comes from not feeling okay, right? As they are already. So that we want to clear that kind of unrest that we have, that unacceptance, that that kind of like judgment, and that what's the word for it? Well, it's a kind of confusion, right? It's a confusion about who we are in the deepest level, because if we weren't confused about that, we wouldn't be constantly trying to like manipulate the circumstances around us to fit our desires, basically, right? And that's actually what colonization is, in a way. And so clearing all that, and once again, bringing it back to ourselves. So anywhere where we feel that fundamental unease, unrest, where we feel like it's not just okay to be, right? We're not okay if we're not like making this amount of money, or like feeling totally great in our bodies, right? Or having the perfect house, relationship, car, clothes, whatever, all that. Anywhere where, we feel like we have to do things in order to be of value, like we're not just valuable for our presence and for our beingness. Anything that's not that, let's uncreate that from its deepest source within our beings and beyond. Because when we're in being and when we're in connection, that is when we find that we have all of the resources of the universe available to us. And we are doing that right now, because from it, like remembering that light, right? It's still like pouring down to you and through you and all around you. And from the very heart of the planet, which we're on and a part of, and like all of that from our hearts, like flooding it out all around us. We brought up a lot of stuff and it's clearing it away. And now we want to fill in, right, with all of that wisdom of the infinite universe, with all of the unconditional love that we've always wished we have, which we do. We've always had it. We just didn't know it. We didn't perceive it. But we're allowing ourselves to receive it right now through this light. Like we kind of came to expect it from people or from circumstances. But we are that love, actually, and we are that wisdom, and we are that energy. And so allowing that energy to permeate our entire beings, flooding into our body and every single cell of our being, so that right now all of that history, which, as we know, there is no time, so history is also not real. So all of it can very easily melt away with what we've just done. And we're flooding back in with light and energy and potential. I don't even want to give us right now. I was going to flood us back in with a new story, but I don't even want to do that. I just want to ask this light to flood us in with the pure potential of energy to co-create whatever new story we need to live in any given moment that is of the greatest benefit to all beings. Allowing ourselves to receive the love of community and care. Knowing that who we are creates that. It co-creates it with these other energy streams, but knowing that by clearing our energy, we come into clear communion with other people, with the natural world, with our spirit and soul, allowing your soul now to flood into your body so that all of that deep intelligence, which sometimes we shut off because the world just like is so compelling. But we are now attuning to the other part of us that's beyond, and allowing that to come into our being so that we're living every moment from our soul intelligence, which can allow us to co-create anything in the physical plane that we intend. So in this moment, allowing ourselves to flood in, allowing the light to flood us with the energy of true gratitude. So bring to your heart, mind, some of the things that you're grateful for in this moment. Perhaps people, places, things, experiences. Allowing the gratitude to infuse every cell of your being. And also attuning our consciousness to be grateful, not just for the physical things that we can experience, but for this energy and for this soul wisdom that goes beyond that. So being grateful for our conscious awareness that there is far more to be grateful for. Being grateful for the opportunity to come into community right now, the opportunity to be able to clear and to be in a process of healing, like generations and deep ass stories that have been creating a lot of chaos and a lot of pain. So how grateful to be able to be a part of a process that helps alleviate that pain and suffering and disconnection. Wow, that's like so thankful for that. Like I'm thankful for Turkey, and I'm also thankful for the fact that we can come together as infinite beings and, like basically like heal all of time and space by knowing that it's not real. Yay. So that was like an epic journey. So let's just like flood in for a few more moments with this glorious light, taking a few deep breaths. Oh, if it feels good to like exhale on a yawn or some sound, do that. You could give yourself a little shake or a stretch. Like feel like what would feel good in your body, you know, like how does it feel good to move? Like, oh my gosh, aren't we so grateful we have bodies? We've like not had bodies sometimes. And now we have like this amazing human body on this incredible, beautiful planet, right? Where so much glory happens. And there's all of these other, you know, beings that have bodies that we get to, you know, love and be with. And just so do something that feels really good in your body right now. It might be weird, like shaking out your face or whatever. Like do one thing that you normally wouldn't do. Like you might go like, bah! No, just do something weird just because it feels good and because it's fun. Yeah. Then just notice how you feel right now. Notice like how, like the room around you. If you haven't opened your eyes, you can do that. Notice the light. Just notice whatever you notice. And like how it feels to be in this body. And to be a human, but like also not a human. Like, do you feel very human or do you feel maybe like also something else? There's no right or wrong answer. Yeah. Okay. Let's get journals. You have a journal? If not, go get one. So we're going to do a couple little writing prompts. So I will time us. So the first prompt here is, what are some of the old ways, traditions, you know, ways of thinking? What are some of the old ways that you are releasing and letting go of and clearing? It can be anything that came up while we were doing that, or it can just like free write about it and whatever comes up for you. What old ways are going away? So just to remind us that that light that we connected to previously is always flowing to us and through us and all around us. And it's just up to us to focus our awareness and our attention to it. So we're just going to like do that again for 1 second right now and just remember that that's all flowing. It's coming up into our hearts. It's blasting out all around us. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw some like fireballs at that list that you just read. So like lasers or like whatever, light showers, like shooting star shines. Just like clear away everything that you wrote down about those old ways, just like kind of blasting those out of the picture. Right. And then part 2 of this question is do a little free writing about anything and everything that you feel grateful for. And that just includes like even things like that you might just appreciate, right? Like you might just like appreciate this flower and, you know, just like kind of like let it roll. See how many things you can appreciate and be grateful for. I know there's so much to be grateful for and appreciative for. And you can return to this at any time you like, but we're going to do the same thing, but a little different that we just did, which is just like refocusing our awareness, our attention to that light again, pouring down to us and through us and all around us and at our hearts and like on this light now, like we're receiving. So everything that was on your gratitude list, everything that you appreciate, we're going to like allow the energy of all that. We're going to like allow ourselves to receive even more of it. If you'd like, you can join me in opening your arms up to the heavens. You don't have to, but it might feel good to just like allow it all to pour in. Like I'm like allowing it to pour right into the center of my heart. Like all of those things I feel grateful for and I appreciate. I welcome more of that in my life. And I also welcome the knowledge and the truth that I already have it all and that I am co-creating it right now by allowing it to enter in through the energetic wavelengths. Thank you. And so it is. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if anything came up for you, please feel free to let us know in the comments, and we will receive them down in the comments below. Thank you so much for being you and for joining us here at GrowMe. Thank you.